kanina, in your speech just a while ago, you've really come up, you've parang made a very strong position dun sa impeachment of the ombudsman. Will you also, what do you think yung magiging response ng Senate given that, you've made very strong positions, a very strong position on
Yung,
the impeachment?
I may be president, but I'm also a citizen of this republic. And as a citizen of this republic, I'm really not happy with the performance of the ombudsman and her people. Let me just cite a particular instance. Remember the plea bargain issue. No? Even in the Senate hearings, they themselves said they were not privy to the evidence that was being unearthed by the Senate hearings. But the actions that they did, even after they got to know about the supposed evidence, was to object to the participation, the motion for intervention by the OSG. Now, if the point being, if they were suddenly made aware that they did something wrong, then they could have at least assisted the OSG to become an intervener in the case and rectify an injury to the people, which was the plea bargain for General Garcia. So, the Senate is an independent, co-equal body. No, I am a citizen expressing my own opinion, and I think I'm still entitled to my opinion.
Okay. Sir, so were you surprised with the overwhelming support that you got? I mean, yung what you've been campaigning for in the House when they voted, 212.
Alam mo, palagi ko, yung sa House, talagang pagkatagal-tagal na para mamatawag doon, para nasasakal, para ma-express ko ano talagang dapat gawin. Yung House po, huwag natin kalimutan, House of Representatives. Siguro po yung sambayanan, overwhelmingly, ang nag-ahanap ng kaayusan, lalo na sa sistema natin ng hustisya.
So throughout the impeachment, will we still hear you say something about, will you still push for that position yung sa ombudsman when the impeachment trial begins, sir?
I think I've said enough, no? I think my position is very clear. And again, I'm expressing, not as president, but I'm expressing my opinion as a citizen who demands a certain level of, some say, of functions and quality of functions by our public servants.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, yung Global Source Partners sa think tank is saying that the external developments happening elsewhere in the world are not dire enough to slash growth forecast for the Philippines. Do you agree with this, or do you think it's too early to say this?
Mia, hindi naman siguro tama sabihin for the Philippines. Yung for the whole world, no? I mean, name me any country that does not have Japan as a major trading partner. Okay? Tapos yung maraming products that are so dependent also on the output of Japan. Yung mga wafers na tinatawag yung semiconductors and so many other stuff, no? They're still assessing exactly what the effect of the tsunami and the earthquake are on Japan's economy. And of course, what happens to Japan's economy has a direct bearing on so many countries within the world. Okay? Now, in the Middle East, again, the price of oil from 84 or so is over $100 per barrel. Now, the first world is just recovering. Diba? With the uncertainty in the price of oil, that has obviously, there will that be speculation that will drive the price of oil further until the situation in the Middle East is stabilized. So, yes, of course, there is a negative impact on the Philippines. Pero that doesn't mean it's only the Philippines. The whole world, interconnected and global, will be affected by both of these occurrences.
Sir, the Philippines has been known to have a very resilient economy. Do you think what's happening now would be one of its biggest tests about this resilience?
Palagay ko, I guess, let me use an example. No? Negros Occidental used to be primarily sugar. Tapos, there was a point in time it became, export of prawns and flowers, cut flowers. And then diversified, and it's also back in sugar now. Yung expression na nagapala, nagapiko raw ng pera na naulit na naman sa Negros when we were there last. No? So, resiliency, yes. I always try to look at every problem as an opportunity. For instance, yung kulang ng kuryente bigla sa Japan ngayon, it will take them time to change from the nuclear power plants to something else. But the production and the needs of the businesses there will continue. Perhaps this is high time for us to mount a trade delegation also to transfer more of their production of that cannot be done in the present time in Japan to Philippines. So I did instruct Secretary Domingo to talk to the semiconductor industry and various other electronics manufacturers to try and see the possibility of lobbying at this point in time, no, to get hindi ba to profit from their misery, but rather to satisfy a need that they have at this point in time.
So, sir, you're optimistic that we will prove to be resilient again?
We optimistic that
The Philippine economy would prove to be resilient again?
yes, I believe so. No? And that, parang twinfold yan eh. Meron yung recovery industries natin adversely affected by the developments in the world. No? Pero the other aspect, if you were listening kanina to the Regional Development Council, the things that they were asking for are very doable. And we expect that yung progress will be in an accelerating pace. No? Yung wherewithal ng gobyerno, yung I subscribe to the theory na meron J-curve. Yung babaksak muna yung BIR customs sa collection dahil maghihigpit ka. Pero after that, there will be a very sharp increase. No, pag yung natutuloy yung tao, naniwala na gaano kami kaseryoso dito, natutuloy talaga yung mga kaso, magbabayad na ng tamang buwis, dadami yung revenues para maisulong na mas maaga itong mga pangangailangan ng iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas. So, doon pa lang meron na yung pump-priming effect yan. Pero other than that, no, pag natapos natin yung peace process, at talaga optimistic ako for both, no, then that also will be, at this point in time, medyo mahirap imagine kung gaano kalaking yung positive impact niyan sa development of our economy and our people.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mr. President, sa harap po ng maraming challenges na sinasalubong ng DFA ng OWA dun sa pag-repatriate o evacuate ng mga kababayan natin sa Libya, ano po ang pinakahuling directive ninyo?
Naglabas ho sila ng parang ang DFA, nag-abiso na talaga ito na huling pagkakataon para sa ating mga kababayan doon. Yung merong isang barko, umpisa ng pangalan, Ionian something. So, hindi ko maalala yung last part ng pangalan. It's good for 1,700 passengers. We paid quite a huge sum to rent that ship. Ang naisakay lang about 600 to 700. Wala nang ibang pasahero gusto sumama. Today, I received a text from Secretary De Rosario and he tells me, nagpapasalamat yung mga nahanap nila na OFWs natin sa Libya, pero ang tugon sa kanilang tanong na kung pwedeng, kasi nagbigay na ng utos kayo eh, eto lumikas na kayo lahat ngayon. Last chance na to. Ang sagot, thank you sa pag-aasikaso sa kanila, pero yung mga nakaharap po nila, sinagot mas maganda na isugal yung buhay nila doon, kaysa dito ron at tsak na walang trabaho. Malungkot, no? Na hindi, parang doon na sila may pag-asa sa lugar na may kaguluhan, kaysa dito sa bansa natin na tahimik. Pero yung nga tinatrabaho pa natin, hindi natin sila masisisi kung yun pong palagay lang pamamaraan para tugunan yung pangangailangan ng mga pamilya. Pero ginawa po ng ating gobyerno na talagang hanapin lahat, malapitan lahat, nakipag-ugnayan tayo sa mga karating na bansa na mas tahimik para mailikas, mailagay sa kaayusan yung ating mga kababayan doon. Pag nakabalik naman po dito, nagtatay up na yung isang malaking kumpanya, AGNP for instance, ang daming gustong i-hire na mga nanggaling sa Libya. Meron na rin po retraining ginagawa ang DOLE para mabigyan ng ibang skills yung mga nagbalikan natin mga kababayan. At the same time, aminin ko po sa inyo, yung nagkakaroon ng reorientation sa DFA. Alam niyo yung mismong dami ng ating mga OFW, sino sila, saan sila, hindi ko nakakatugma yung datos ng marami natin mga tanggapan. So, yung DFA, yung DOLE, lalo na yung POEA, BID, inataas ako mag-usap-usap ngayon, i-rectify yung ating mga records. Hindi pa pwede na pababayaan natin yung sitwasyon na para maski pa paano na lang natin sila dinadabayan. Kailangan malaman natin lahat, bawat isa nasaan, sa nagtatrabaho, anong kalagayan, para mas mabilis natin ma-aksyonan pag may pangangailangan.
Follow-up lang po. So wala pong mangyayari na even while kicking and screaming, i-evacuate yung tao?
Meron nung sumamang, basahin ko na po, pero kukunti yung last na sumamang grupo. Ang text ni Secretary de Rosario, our last call run to the border from Tripoli today was without incident, but included only 31 repatriates with fewer than 10 nurses with dependents and others. A very large group of leaders was at the embassy to express thanks to the Aquino government for protecting them by encouraging repatriation. But placing their lives at risk was at day's end preferred by so many over the prospects of no employment and economic hopelessness. Okay. So, yesterday, Ambassador Vicente led 23 to Jerba. Tomorrow, another 30 with 19 students will be repatriated from Tripoli. Yun na lang ho yung last na mga pumayag na ma-repatriate.
Sir, yung House, na-approve na po yung armed poll postponement. Do you see the same swift passage in the Senate?
Alam niyo yung Senado, pag sinabihan na ito gagawin, lalo ho yatan pupunta sa ibang direksyon. Siyempre, nasa kanila po yan. Palagay ko, pag dedebatihan doon sa merits ng mungkahi, ulitin ko lang ho, ang inahabol natin dito, gusto natin iwas to yung problema. Ano po ba yung problema? Sa Constitution po nakalagay, all these elections should be synchronized. But for whatever reason, yung election sa ARM, hindi ho sinisynchronize. Nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon tuloy dahil parati nangyayari sa a year after ng mid or yung presidential elections na pwedeng tutukan ng Malacanang, for instance, na pananuli yung kanilang kandidato. So, ang mangyayari po dyan, command votes para ma-elect yung sa ARM. Tapos, in turn, yung ARM naman, magiging command votes para i-elect yung national. So, yung, nawawala ho yung parang klarong mandato ng tao. So, mukha ho natin, i-synchronize natin lahat ito eleksyon na to, kanya-kanyang kampanya, walang command votes. Sa ganun paraan, may mandatong mas tiyak. Yung mandatong tiyak ngayon na magiging daan para mas magkaroon ng talagang pag-asenso at kaayusan at talagang klarong kasama yung sambayanan sa pagsulong ng progreso, lalo po sa ARM.
Sir, how do you address concerns that the government shouldn't interfere with the autonomy of ARM daw? Some opposition lawmakers have said this.
Kung masaya ho tayo sa nangyayari sa ARM, no, bakit nga tayo makikialam? Pero pag naghanap po kayo ng statistikang mabigat, highest rates of infant mortality doon, maternal mortality doon, lack of access to potable water doon, kidnapping, robbery, bombings. Pwede ho ba akong, pwede ko ba sabihin, uy, ARM kayo, hindi na kayo Pilipinas, wala akong pakialam sa inyo. Ay, palagay ko naman, no, malaking kasalanan yun. So, yung mga nagsasabing huwag pakialamanan, hindi ako nakikialam doon in the sense na gusto ko nga hindi na nagdidikta kung sino maupo dyan. Ngayon, yung mga gusto naman ho na bumalik sa dating sistema, ay pasensya na lang tayo. Palagay ko yun na nagdulot ng kadahilanan kung bakit nagkaiwanan na talaga sa ARM. Alam po niyo yung ARM, nagpagawa ko sa COA ng audit at yung initial findings halos 1 billion for 1 year alone. Pag sinabi findings, di may discrepancy.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, are you feeling a bit under the weather? Kasi napansin po namin na medyo madalas po kayong umuubo.
Alam mo, Lay, ang problema kasi, sino ba? Si Asik Delantar ang aking parati kasama. Nakwento na nga niya sa akin, Sir, okay pala to, yung Sabado Linggo, pareho lang. Now, which means there is really no break when you're president. When I came back from Indonesia and Singapore, and I already had a cold. No, I was hoping that I could spend a few days in Tarlac. A few days meant 2 nights in Tarlac. Pero the tsunami and the earthquake struck, so sorry. Then I asked for the next time that there will be a gap. I was told towards the end of April. This job is 24/7. There is no time to rest. There is I think a slight ability to schedule when you get sick.
Pero ayos naman po yung pakiramdam niyo, sir.
Pwede tayo mag-akit na hagdanan mamaya, kung gusto mo.
Okay. Sir, isa pa. Sir, kanina po, sir, hindi kayo daw dun sumakay, dun sa sasakyan na dapat niyong sinakyan. Bakit po?
Well, hindi nabababa yung salamin ng sasakyan na yun. At siyempre, pupunta ka na nga dito, nakaka-frustrate yung kinakawayan ka ng tao. Kumakaway ka, hindi naman kayo nagkakakitahan. Now, I really derive a lot of strength from being able to sense that the people are still with us. And I think the last surveys did indicate that there was practically no change as far as their support for us. So, there are very few times that I can go and visit everybody. Yeah. So I want to maximize, I want to reach out to as many people as possible.
Sir, hindi naman po yung naging security concern or...
There is a concern, no, but I overruled them.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Kung magtatago rin naman ako, dumalaw-dalaw pa ako dito. Yan na naman ang point. And I guess in the future, when the economy is a little better, perhaps you can get a vehicle that satisfies the security needs and at the same time allows me to have access to the people.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.